How's everyone doing? This is a quick response to the previous videos that I just put up from some good friends of mine on Facebook because I share a lot of my writings on Facebook. The last three videos are actually um, from thoughts that I had in my journal regarding a whole lot of questions that I always had in regards to religion and where the, um, the necessity of the form of governments that were never talked about in any of the churches, the mosque, or any of the small ministries that I was um, previously into when I was out in the fields. But just wanted to put those videos out just to share some information and try to provoke, some thoughts. And my primary concern when it comes to scripture, whether it's the Bible, the Quran, or the philosophies of the Buddha, the Krishna, anything that I've been privileged to study. My whole intention of studying anything is to help myself and others understand exactly what this life journey is, what it consists of, and the incredible journey of moving forwards with it, with an option and a will to understand things conclusively in this reality and not be concerned of things that you really can't do anything about, especially concerning about a lot of the dialogue that has been previously rebrought up by way of Kanye's West discompatibilities with the Jewish community, and everybody getting themselves involved in it. People like Minister Farrakhan, simply because Kanye has this dispute against the Jews. Minister Farrakhan saw that as an opportunity to inject himself in it for the sake of only pushing a book that the Nation of Islam wrote years ago titled The Secret Relationships Between Blacks and Jews. So it's not primarily him putting forth an effort of speaking up for Mr. Kanye West. It is also a campaign to push the book, The Secret Relationship Between Blacks and Jews, which, I can't say I've never. What I don't like is the divisiveness that is going on right now. The Jews against the blacks, the blacks against the Hispanics, and, the Muslims against the Christians, and all of that, because as I go on, I dislike divisiveness more and more. And what's going on right now is very irritating in terms of this whole Hebrew thing that's going out, and all of the language and the rhetoric of we are the original Jews and they're the fake Jews. Well, I don't get myself involved no more in divisive language, because those are subjects that you really can't do anything about. What can you do about that? I mean, it's nothing that you can do about. So why not just focus on your reality and move forward with it and put forth an effort to make humanity a better place to exist, instead of getting on the bandwagon with either this group of people or that group of people, because that's not going to help anyone. That's not going to help anyone. Excuse me, I had to pause for a minute. But like I said before, it's not going to help anyone. And the videos that I put up explained clearly the destructive effects of information. It has always been this way from the beginning. And I focus on information because I've been a participator in information, but I've come in contact with a lot of people who don't understand the dual component of information. Now once you understand the dual component of information and how it can be used for what is considered good, or it can be used for what is considered evil. Now we all know that good and evil are in fact point of views that has everything to do with the individual and their past, and that a whole lot of times causes disagreements, when people come together who both have past and they have similar things that they went through on particular, similar subjects, and one perception based upon their past is in opposition of the other ones. That's a very normal thing. But there's a lot of information out here that doesn't do anything but cause a whole bunch of chaos. And a lot of the information that I've come in contact with lately is totally pointless and useless. Not too long ago, I was looking at a video that someone posted on Facebook, and it was of a teacher, a college teacher, who was, I believe he's at Stanford University, and he was saying to his students that the original content of philosophy, religious principles, and culture that the Greeks had claimed actually came from Egypt, the Egyptians. And I was looking below the video, and even that caused a debate, and people was arguing back and forth, and people were offending one another, calling one another names. But the whole thing is, say I come to you, or you come to me, and you tell me, did you know that the original content and religious principles that the Greeks profess was their own actually came from Egypt? Now, with that being said, I'm just going to say, oh, okay, that's interesting. Not interesting for me to look into it, because, that has nothing to do with what's going on today. And a lot of people take information and they try to make it mean something, and it's just information based upon a quotation. It's, why are you arguing? It's a lot of people, excuse me, that I used to hear all the time say, I I think that Louis Farrakhan is a government agent. And I will ask them, why? Why would you think that? And they would say, because Louis Farrakhan is still alive. Considering everything that Louis Farrakhan talks about and has been talking about for these years, how come Farrakhan is still alive? My response always to them is it's because Minister Farrakhan is really not talking about anything. Minister Farrakhan is not saying anything that this government system would consider a threat to their power. So there's no need for assassination. Another thing that a lot of our people don't understand is that we have a whole lot of Black leaders today who are walking this planet who have already been assassinated. And what is meant by this is that another way that the government assassinates Black leaders or other leaders, but particularly Black leaders, is to give them the lifestyle that they are constantly speaking of they want for their particular community. There's a quotation in the Quran that says, give them a lifestyle, I'm just paraphrasing, near to me. So another way that a whole lot of leaders are assassinated is the government gives them wealth. And they give them wealth to the degree that these Black leaders move out of the community and into white communities and other communities, which they would consider the environment that they're moving to, nearness to that of how their enemy is living. And so after a time when they live in these communities, they begin in time to lose the zeal, the will, and the interest of their particular community, because now they are living nearness to those who they consider their enemy, who they previously saw as their enemies. So that's another way. But I just don't like all of the divisiveness that's going around right now. There's a whole lot of information that's going around, like, we're the real Jews and they're the fake Jews. Okay, I mean, what can you actually do with that information? What can you do with that information other than just get angry about it? And if you have no means to do anything with that information, and if that information doesn't bring you humility, doesn't mean anything. I mean, that's not enlightenment. That's just information to make you angry. And when you're angry, your mind is hobbled, and it tampers with your sense of intelligence and your gift of creativity. And sometimes with some, it tampers with their incentive to produce further success for themselves. So I don't get caught up in a whole lot of information. My primary intention is to go into the Bible, the Quran, and observe in the society and tie it all together to where everything is relating to our reality. That's all I care about. All of those other things, like Moses parted the Red Sea and Jesus rose from the grave, that doesn't mean anything to me. It doesn't mean anything to me. Now, if that offends you, I don't care, because that doesn't do anything for my reality, and it doesn't do anything for society to quote that information. I mean, it's just okay. That's a part of a religious doctrine, and you quote it, and if that's what you believe, fine. But if your belief system doesn't help you get through your present condition, then it doesn't mean anything. So, with that being said, I just wanted to address those videos, because those videos talk about the destructive um, effect of information itself, and how information has a dual component, you know, based upon the entities of perception within those information, which clash and contradict one another. And when you consume that, then you become a manifestation of those dual components that are within information, and the contradictions and everything. And once you come to understand that, it reveals how very important intelligence is, in order for you to have insight, and not only into information, but the effects of information and the function of information. And when the creator and the universe instills in you the wisdom and the intelligence to have insight to how all of those things function and work together, you will find yourself walking through this life experience a whole lot more in peace, But with that being said, that's pretty much all I have to say about that. But I would just hope that everyone understands that a lot of the things that you see going on, a whole lot of the things that you hear are futile, and maybe they aren't futile to you. But if they aren't futile to you, and if this information instills anything inside of you to where you can speak it or act upon it in this society to make it better, then that's good. So with all of that being said, because I didn't intend for this video to be this long, but all of that being said, I hope that everyone have a good night and stay human, and peace to all of you.